Hey everyone, so this is a very different video, very different kind of review because I'm doing two movies at the same time because today I watched Frankenstein at the morning and like last 2 hours ago I watched Predator Badlands in theaters. So yeah, like I said, I watched Frankenstein, the Guillermo del Toro's one on Netflix starring Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, and Mia Goth. And Predator Badlands, of course, the new Predator film starring Elle Fanning. And we'll start off with Frankenstein. What got me into this movie is two reasons. One, I do like Guillermo del Toro as a director. I haven't seen all of his movies, but I've seen some of his movies, like the first two Hellboy movies with Ron Perlman. Which I think both are pretty good, especially the first movie. Blade 2, which not as good as the first movie, but still a pretty cool movie. And I did like his Pinocchio one. It was the best of the three 2022 Pinocchio movies. And also because I saw the 1931 Frankenstein on Tubi in 2022 for the Halloween season. Before I started doing my Halloween countdowns starting in 2023, I was watching some movies for Halloween. Like 2022, I watched the first 5 Scream movies: Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, and Frankenweenie. That's what and Werewolf by Night, also the black and white one, the original version. And I did like that movie, Frankenstein, which I watched on Tubi. And so I was curious about this version of Frankenstein with Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein, Jacob Elordi as the monster, and Mia Goth as Elizabeth. And it's 2 hours and 32 minutes long, but I do think the movie was decently paced. Yeah, so right away I give you my thoughts on it. I think the movie is pretty good. I really was invested in the story of the film, and I really liked the characters. Like, I really thought Oscar Isaac was really good in the film as Victor Frankenstein. I really liked his performance, and where he, as this scientist, who creates a monster. And I do like some of his scenes, like when he trying to show some experiments on some other doctors, but they didn't like him or what he was doing, or like when he accidentally kills somebody and falls to the ground. That was a very gruesome death. There are some gruesome kills in the movie, mostly by the monster. And I do like the effects on the movie. Like the makeup on the monster looks really, really good. I really like the design of it. It looks creepy. And I thought Jacob Elordi was excellent as Frankenstein, where he doesn't talk a lot except for Victor, and at some point sometimes he says Elizabeth before he starts to experience with other people, like this old man, and start reading the book where he starts to learn how to talk and speak better. And his scene with Frankenstein in the third act is very intense. Like what he attacks him and breaks his nose. Like that was a very intense third act, and him killing people and wolves. That was a very gruesome scene, and still an awesome scene as well. And I really thought Mia Goth as Elizabeth was really good in it. I really like some of her dresses, like there's a blue dress, a green dress, and a red dress, and a traditional white dress. And I thought those first 3 of them looked really unique and colorful, and I thought she was really good in it. She has some in a way heartwarming scenes with the monster, and I don't know much about the Frankenstein actual story, and she kind of felt like in a version of the Bride or something like that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, if you know the Frankenstein story, let me know if I'm wrong about that. Comparing Elizabeth to the bride. Um, so don't think about that noise. But and I really thought I kind of like how they do the movie like where like it's split like in two parts, like in where like in where it has a part prologue, a part one, and a part two. Where in part one, Victor Frankenstein tells the story of the movie of what happens and events, and where he creates the monster, but is not happy with it and tries to burn it. And then meanwhile, in the part two, and like in the halfway, in like in the midway second act of the film, and part two is told by and the monster, where it talked about how he survived the explosion and what happened to him later. That was a very interesting choice for the movie. If you It's a good way to pause the movie and take a break. I didn't do that because I wanted to experience the whole movie. It kind of reminds me of like how Zack Snyder's Justice League was, where like it's getting cut into chapters. I thought that was an interesting move. And I thought visually the film looks really good. I really like the visuals of the film. It looks really good. Some of the shots in the film, and of course the effects, and it's a very well done movie. I really like the Frankenstein movie. So yeah, Frankenstein, good movie. Now let's talk about Predator Badlands. Now before I give you my thoughts on this film, I should probably give you my thoughts on the other movies. I love Predator 1. Predator 2 was okay. Predators is good. The Predator visually looks great. Some of the action is fun. Ultimate Predator is a fun villain. The rest is not so much. Prey was really good. Predator Killers was awesome. I thought the Alien vs Predator was okay. I haven't seen Requiem or Requiem, whatever. So that's my thoughts on the Predator movies. Now we have this new one, Predator Badlands, the third to be directed by Dan Trachtenberg. And I had fun with this film. I thought this movie was really fun, and I like how unique it is. Like, one thing I like about these movies is that each of them feel different because of they're different. They're Predator movies, but they're also like different movies because they tell different stories, have different characters, and it makes these movies unique, and you can watch them without knowing, without missing something. They do reference themselves. They do reference the movies there and there, but for most part, they're standalone films. I think that's unique. Although this movie might get a direct sequel because of the tease at the end, but yeah, I gotta say this movie's a lot of fun. And I think my favorite thing about the movie is how this film focuses on a predator deck, and he's the main character of the movie, which I think is a unique, new idea. I think it's a very cool idea. And I thought he made for a very great protagonist. I really feel bad for him for losing his brother. I really was rooting for him to accomplish his hunt. And I really liked his friend, Thea, played by Elle Fanning. I thought she was fun, and I thought she was funny. The movie has some good humor in that. A couple of scenes that made me laugh, especially from this monkey-ish creature, Blue. I thought that character was pretty hilarious, and I thought there were some very cool designs on these other creatures. Of course, Deck looks really awesome, and of course the other predators that show up in the movie. And there's other creatures in the planet he lands on after what happened to his brother. I thought a lot of creatures looks really awesome and create and unique. And I thought the action sequences are very awesome. This movie is PG-13, which might disappoint some people, but that's fine because the movie's still intense. And characters get killed. There are no humans. There's only aliens and cyborgs in this movie. But I thought they did a good job being as violent as they can. It kind of reminds me of how violent they got with the Transformers movies with Michael Bay. And the action, all the action sequences in this film from beginning to end is epic. I really love every single one of them. Probably my favorite one is probably the one where like there's this like thing like white that they cannot like stand on, and there's this big creature that Deck and T are attacking. I thought that was probably my favorite fight scene in the whole movie. I really enjoyed that one. And I thought Tessa, another character played by Fanny, was a very well written villain, and so was the father of Deck. I thought he was a very intimidating villain as well. And so yeah, Predator, Badlands, and Frankenstein are very great movies. I really enjoy watching them today. So what are you guys' thoughts on both of these movies, and which one do you prefer? Hey guys, so while editing it, I was thinking about which one I prefer, and I gotta say, probably Predator Badlands is more fun to watch and more rewatchable to watch than Frankenstein. Frankenstein is a great story, but I will watch Predator Badlands more so than Frankenstein. That's just my opinion. I do really like both of these movies, but I will say Predator Badlands. What do you guys think of them? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on both of these movies. And peace out, bye, and stay tuned for more epic videos.